For years, we've been getting reports about Toyota developing a small pickup, and it looks like there are no secrets anymore because the new concept has just been presented. Futuristic styling, all-electric powertrain, and a good portion of practical design solutions seem like a proper package to take on the ever-growing popularity of the Ford Maverick. Toyota CEO has just revealed the all-new $25,000 small pickup, and it looks so good that we're pretty sure that Toyota would be crazy not to start the serial production as soon as possible. Future is all electric. It looks like Toyota is getting serious about electrification. After years of hesitating, it has finally started with a massive electrification, and that included numerous premieres in the last year or so. The most recent, Japan Mobility Show, brought a couple of interesting designs as well. Besides the all-electric concept of the iconic Land Cruiser, this event was the first opportunity to encounter the new pickup truck concept called the EPU. Of course, the first thing to notice is the attractive styling, which brings a bit of futuristic flavor and combines it with relatively conventional aesthetics. But at this moment, it's way more important what's under the skin. This is a concept of an all-electric pickup, and besides the obvious benefits such as zero-emissions mobility, instant torque, and other typical EV things, such a setup also allows the implementation of various design solutions that make it more practical than a conventional gas-powered pickup. We will get on this in a moment, but let's take a look at the pickup's size first. Toyota EPU dimensions. One of the interesting things about the new concept is that Toyota classifies it as a mid-size pickup, probably because of a pretty long wheelbase. But if you take a closer look at the dimensions, it's obvious that this is rather a compact pickup. Surprisingly or not, the overall dimensions are pretty close to the Maverick. This particularly refers to the overall length, which is nearly identical, 199.6 against the Maverick's 199.7 inches. With 75.2 inches in width, Toyota's concept is a little wider than Ford's pickups, while the Maverick is slightly taller. The biggest difference, as we've already mentioned, is in the wheelbase, which is 10.8 inches longer in the case of this concept. Of course, this reflects in many things, particularly in more passenger space, as the all-electric setup allows the cabin to be moved forward and leaves a decent amount of space for the cargo bed, which we will talk about in a moment. Flexibility is the key. Despite the long wheelbase, this pickup is still limited by its overall length, and just like any other small pickup, it needs to balance between comfort and utility, between the passenger and cargo space. In this case, Toyota decided to play on the flexibility card, so at the first look, things look pretty similar to other small pickups. There's a spacious cabin with two adult-friendly rows of seats, and then the cargo bed that's as long as the one on the Maverick. In numbers, that would be 4.5 feet. Nothing special, you would say. But this cargo bed, as we already mentioned, is flexible. First of all, there's a practical mid-gate design which folds down along with the rear seats, providing additional cargo space and allowing accommodation of items that are 6 feet long, but that's not all. The EPU concept also comes with a smartly designed tailgate, which provides an extra 2 feet, so the total cargo length goes up to 8 feet. To give you a better picture, that's pretty much on par with full-size regular cab pickups. Attractive but practical. One of the most interesting details about the Toyota EPU is that the concept was actually developed in California, in the company's Calty Design Research Center. This department initially came to an idea to create the concept, but quickly enough, this design study attracted the attention of the company executives, who decided to go with it and show it at the recent Japan Mobility Show. And as mentioned, the pickup brings an exterior design that combines futuristic details and a relatively conservative design. The overall result is actually pretty good, and we think that the production version should look exactly the same. What probably won't look the same is the interior design. In this case, Toyota's California department went full throttle and came up with something very futuristic, something that's hard to expect at a production car at the moment. This refers to things like the steering wheel or a massive screen. We think Toyota would rather go with something more conventional because, after all, one of the priorities is to offer the new pickup at a competitive price, and too many flashy details won't help at all. Electrification is the key. As mentioned, the EPU concept is imagined as an all-electric pickup. The Japanese carmaker still didn't bring the numbers and the other details of the setup, but that's not so important at the moment. What really matters are the benefits that would come from an all-electric setup. We already talked about the cabin being moved forward, which allows extra passenger space. Moreover, the battery is going to be placed underneath the floor, so the passenger space won't be compromised. According to officials, the cargo space won't be compromised either, and the bed will actually be deeper than the one in a gas-powered Maverick. Finally, let's not forget driving experience. With batteries under the floor, the Toyota EPU will feature a pretty low center of gravity, which will have a highly positive effect on handling and the overall driving experience. And that becomes even more important once you realize that this isn't a traditional body-on-frame pickup. Instead, this is a car-like unibody pickup that puts focus on comfort and moderate utility rather than being an off-road monster and is capable as you would expect from a traditional pickup. That place will remain reserved for the Tacoma, so it isn't surprising that Toyota's spokesman already stated that the EPU is a different kind of pickup, and that's not going to endanger the Tacoma's position on the market. Simply said, it's designed for a different type of buyer. What about the hybrid powertrain? The new concept was imagined as an all-electric pickup, which would probably compete with the Maverick Lightning, which is also expected to arrive soon. But what about the rest of the compact pickup market? What about all that demand for the gas-only and hybrid-powered Mavericks? It would be a shame not to see Toyota competing in that niche, so it doesn't surprise that many expect to see such versions on offer as well. An all-electric pickup is a fantastic prospect for the future, but not exactly something most buyers would go for nowadays. Gas-powered and particularly a hybrid pickup would be a way more attractive proposal because an all-electric pickup would still be too expensive for an average buyer. That's why some sort of transition is a must if Toyota wants commercial success, and in that case, we see two possible solutions. One is to see a new pickup with a modular design, a design that can come both in all-electric and hybrid forms. The other, probably a cheaper solution, is to see two separate models. In that case, the cheaper version would be based on something much simpler, probably on a crossover such as the Corolla Cross. That model already has a perfect hybrid setup for Toyota's pickup. It features a system based on a 2.0-liter engine and a combined output of nearly 200 horsepower. At the same time, the average fuel economy could easily go beyond 40 miles per gallon, which means this pickup would have a chance to outperform the Maverick both in terms of performance and efficiency. At the same time, it could be as affordable. Still a capable pickup. The new concept showcases Toyota's vision of a sustainable future, and in that vision, there's also room for solid performance. According to officials, this pickup won't be just an efficient and emissions-friendly vehicle. It's designed for drivers with an active lifestyle. We already saw its practical side with that flexible cargo bed, but the EPU is going to be a pretty decent off-roader, officials claim. Of course, it won't be as rugged as the Tacoma, but if we consider that the dual-motor setup is expected even in the most basic models, it's obvious that the new pickup will have some off-road aspirations. The same is true with towing and hauling. Although a unibody pickup, the Toyota EPU should offer some decent level of capabilities. Of course, officials still haven't come up with numbers, but we expect ratings that are comparable with rivals. In order to be competitive, Toyota's pickup should be able to tow around 5,000 pounds, while the flexible cargo bed should be complemented by the hauling capacity that goes over 1,500 pounds. Release date and price. From what we know, the board still hasn't made its final decision, but that's expected to happen soon. After all, we presume that the development would take a few years, so it doesn't seem reasonable to hope for this pickup anytime before, unless Toyota decides to offer the simple, straightforward hybrid version we talked about. In such a scenario, things are happening much faster and the new model arrives already in the next year. In that case, the new pickup would also have a chance to be really competitively priced. We presume that with a hybrid powertrain, base models could be available already at around $25,000, which would make this pickup a legitimate contender for the leading position in the segment. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.